Here I'm going to tell you how to build a colour scheme for your clients around the things that they have, the things that are going to be in the room. It's really important that you understand right at the beginning of the process, the design process, what's staying in the room. And what we've got here is a piece of fabric that represents a beautiful sofa in a smoky violet aubergine. Now we can do this one of two ways. We can use old school, analog, a lovely big Dulux trade fan deck to choose the colours, and we can use digital tools. So I'm going to show you how to use both and be creative with both. So the first bit of colour scheming we're going to do is old school using a Dulux trade fan deck. And I'm going to show you 3 different colour schemes. The first is tonal, and then we'll do harmonious, and then we'll look at contrasting or complementary colour schemes. So what I would do first with this fabric is I'd match it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm looking for a smoky, muted colour within the palette that picks up this violet, and I reckon we're working to this scale. So we've got a beautiful stripe card here with 7 different tones of the same colour from the fabric. Now to create a tonal scheme using all of these colours on the stripe card, I would use different tones of colour to decorate different elements of the room, and that could work across the walls and the soft furnishings. And tonal decorating creates classic schemes. They're classic, they're elegant, timeless, very easy on the eye because you're just using tones of one colour to decorate different elements. It brings a coordinated scheme together. But it can look a little dull. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand the palette out. We're working with colours that are muted and atmospheric, which means that these colours have a bit of pigment but quite a lot of grey. And grey is the thing that really creates this sophisticated look. It creates a sort of whispered wow factor. And what I'm going to do here to create a more interesting scheme, I've got my tonal stripe card here. I'm going to work across the spectrum. I'm going to take a slice out of the pie of the colour wheel. So colours that lie next to each other on the colour wheel are colours that are called harmonious colours. They lie next to each other, so they're familiar and they work together really well. And what they do is they expand your opportunities within a certain colour family. So I'm going to be working from violet through to blues in this beautiful muted arena here. So what I'm going to do is just open up the fan deck as I'm working from one colour to another. I'm going to find an adjacent smoky sort of purpley blue because I'm working towards the blues. So I've got a lovely one here that will work, and then I'm going to nibble a little way closer to the blue, and here I've got what we would call a warm blue. It's got a little bit of violet in it, and here we've got 3 stripe cards that create a beautiful palette, a coordinated palette that really bring a little bit more out of this fabric than just a tonal scheme will. So we've got a tonal scheme, which is different tones of the same colour. We've got a harmonious scheme, which are colours that lie next to each other on the colour wheel, that are related but not the same, just to expand the palette. But I'm still looking at it and I'm thinking there's something missing. I want to add another colour to really bring this scheme to life. And so what I'm going to use is what we call a complementary colour or a contrasting colour. There's 2 different languages in this business. We refer in Dulux to complementary colours as contrasting colours. They are the least like each other. They're colours that lie opposite on the colour wheel. And so the complementary colour or contrasting colour for violet is yellow. So I'm going to look for a chalky yellow in the yellow section of the fan deck, something that really takes my fancy. There's quite a few to choose from. I'm going to choose a greyed off yellow. This one I think will look absolutely gorgeous. And can you see how that really brings this scheme to life? And I can use that on the walls, or I could use it in the soft furnishings or just the details, but that combination of violet, of smoky violet and smoky chalky yellows looks amazing. So what I've talked about is tonal, harmonious and contrasting or complementary colour scheming. 3 simple colour scheming tools where you'll always get a really fantastic scheme. But what I've been doing so far is I've just been working with the fabric, and the fabric is telling me what to do, but I'm not actually thinking about my client. Now my client might have chosen this fabric, but they might be a completely different personality and not really like the greyed off, muted, sophisticated look, and they want something much more vibrant and uplifting. And so you can use the fan deck to really help you unlock more potential from colour. And so what I've got here is I've got the same colour, but this time It matches the fabric, but it doesn't have so much grey in it. It's got much more intensity of pigment. It's a bit more light reflective. It's a bit cleaner. It's a bit more uplifting. And if you look at it against the fabric, it's bringing out a different personality, maybe a more confident, younger look. And so this colour will work really well. It's the same pigment, but it has less grey in it. And if I want to play with that, so for example, a customer who wants to take it even a step further, or they've chosen this fabric and they want to bring a completely different look out of it and just be a little bit braver. Here I've got the same colour, but this time there's no black in it at all. No black, no grey, it's just pure intense pigment, highly light reflective, full of fun. You can't look at this without smiling. And it adds another dimension to the room you're decorating, but without having to change the raw ingredients, which are the fabrics and the things that you have to work with. So we've colour schemed old school, and now we're going to colour scheme in a digital age. Here we've got one of my favourite Dulux Trade Paint Expert apps, and it's free from the App Store, so you can download it onto an iPad or any Android tablet, and it works beautifully. And this app helps you create not only a colour scheme, but a fantastic mood board for your client that you can share online. So what I'm going to do, open up the app, and I'm going to create a new mood board. This will give me a fantastic blank canvas to work on. I've taken a photograph of that fabric and I've put it into my photo library. And here it is, the camera roll. I'm going to add that beautiful fabric to the mood board. And what I want to do is I'm going to pick a colour from the fabric. So press the fabric and I get a pick colour option. So what I'm going to do now is move my hand across the surface of the fabric, and what the little colour picking tool does is it picks up the tiniest little subtleties within the fabric, so I can choose the exact tone that I want. You can see this changing at the bottom here. It goes through an incredible amount of colours, picking up all of the little nooks and crannies of the fabric. I'm going to choose that one, and that will give me the exact colour reference to that fabric. I'm going to pick another colour. So this time I'm going to concentrate on the neutrals. Just going to have a little scan of those neutrals, and I'm going to pick that one. So I can start to play with the colours, move them around and create a mood board. So I've got two obvious colours from the fabric. I want to be a little bit more interesting. I want to have a look at what tonal colours look like. So I'm going to press the coordinate button and it will bring me some coordinating colours up. Here's the stripe card that's got that colour in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a paler version of that violet. So I could probably use that colour on another wall. This could be my feature colour. This could be a tonal light variation to use on something else. I'm also going to explore a coordinating colour, but harmonious colours. And here we've got harmonious colours that we saw on the fan deck. And I'm going to have a look at that colour. I quite like him. And I'm also going to do that again. Coordinate, look at harmony colours and use that grey blue. So suddenly what I have is a beautiful palette that will work perfectly with the fabric. What I can also do here is I'm going to have a look at coordinating these colours, and I can choose a contrasting colour. So this is contrasting or complementary. So here the contrasting, the perfect contrasting or complementary colour to that smoky violet is this stripe card here, and I'm going to use a pale contrasting colour. What we can also do with this colour is I'm going to have a look at what we've got to offer. So we've got tonal colours, harmonious colours, contrasting colours, and also an unusual wide contrast, which gives us something a little bit more interesting, so it extends the contrast, and dynamic colours. And these are colours that will give the whole scheme a different dimension. So I'm going to use one of the dynamic colours. I'm going to use this dynamic colour here. That might be something that would just be my wild card colour. And so you have a palette that starts to come to life for the customer. So as a designer, I'm looking at my palette. I'm thinking maybe that dynamic colour isn't one that I particularly like, so I'll get rid of him. I'm going to keep these colours. I rather like them. I'm going to make that one slightly smaller because I'm just going to use a small amount of that colour. I'm going to use just a small amount of that colour. I'm going to use quite a big amount of him because I quite like him on one of the walls. And I'm going to use these colours just as accent colours. So this might be picked up in furnishings and furniture. I quite like him as well. And so if I can find some carpet, I might use that in the carpet. So now I can start to see how the colours work in different weights. So I'm going to have a little bit of this quite strong colour. I'm going to have quite a lot of this creamy colour from the background. And then I'm going to have little pops of these accent colours. And I quite like him there as well. So I'm starting to develop a story with the palette. Now what I can also do here is I'm going to go to my photo library. And in my photo library, I'm going to have a look at my camera roll and I'm going to add a few key bits of furniture. So here in my camera roll, I'm going to choose a sofa. So here's an image of a sofa. I'm going to double tap it and just make that picture smaller. And I'm going to reduce the size of that, move him down here. So I can start to build up a picture of the room, including the elements that I want to work together. So here I'm going to go to my photo library again, taking my camera roll, having a look at some of the things that I collected when I was thinking about this scheme. Quite a nice unit there. I'm going to make that picture a little smaller. Just take out some of the background and then add him to the mood board. I might add just an element of soft furnishings here, and you can carry on until you're happy, until the whole scheme is finished. So what I might do here is add cushion. Well, I'm not sure about him. I'm going to delete him. So I'm going to add from the photo library my camera roll. So here I'm going to pop in a cushion, quite like that one. It's a nice bit of contrasting colour. And you can carry on until you've made your mood board filling up with different elements. Now, what I'm going to show you here is a project that I've already done. So here's one that I've already saved. And so I can see all of the elements working together with the colours that I'm going to use. Now, what I would like to do now is to share this with my client. So I can press this little share button at the bottom. I'm going to email my project. And what will happen is that I will be able to send that and share that with somebody. So I'm going to share it with the NDA. And here what I've got is I've got the project in a little document, plus I've got the color codes so that my client knows exactly what colors I'm going to use. And then we'll send it and off it goes. What I can also do is I can share my project just as an image. So I can save that to my image file, so I can save it in my images, I can copy it, I can print it, I can tweet it. So you can save all of your work and share it with whoever you like. So here I'm going to save it in my camera roll, so the next time I want to use it, I can find it anywhere. I can also duplicate this project. So if I want to duplicate it and work on it, maybe do a slight variation, change the colors maybe. So in this case, what I'm going to do here is pick another color to use. I might choose that lovely brown and then replace him with a bronze. So I can share slightly more subtle variations. This is one of the things, you don't have to create a whole new mood board, and you can change different elements of the room. So here we could change this, delete it, we can undo it if we get it wrong, and then once we've got the project finished, we can take it and we can share it. What you can also do, this has got lots more functions to it, so you can explore different palettes, which will take you to Dulux Trade Color Palette, where you can have a look through all of our colours, every colour that you can possibly imagine, in different personalities. So from warm colours, vibrant colours in the same family, fresh colours, and calm colours. So you can work through the moods of colour in all of our thousands of palettes. So I'm going to choose that one there. You can also have a look at heritage colours. So looking through all of our heritage range, terracottas and creams. So have a play with that. It's fantastic. You can also add text. So here with the text button, I'm going to double tap it to edit it. We'll put NDA on there. I can also change the format. So I can change the style. and the size. So I'm going to change it to 26 points. I'm going to change this font to Gill Sans, and I can change the color as well. So if I want to change the format, I can also change the color. Text color, here we are. I might choose a pale grey. Really nice and swanky. What I can also do is when I'm adding pictures, I can look at the inspiration gallery, and the inspiration gallery will allow me to access hundreds of room schemes just to give a flavour or a mood of the room. So this will show you our new trends, plus also give you a little bit of inspiration for your clients. So here we are. I'm going to use one of these images from our gallery, which will work really nicely with the colours. And finally, if you want to order colour samples, so you can have colour samples sent to your client or directly to you, you can order samples for free. So these are A8 hand-painted chips. They don't cost anything at all. You just add however many that you like, you continue, pop your details in, and they'll send them directly to you.